Hey y'all, it's DBR back for another video, and I know that it's been a while since I've done a subject video, so to speak. Damn, a leaf just flew in here and just hit me. Anyways, but it's been a minute since I did a subject video or whatever, and I just really wanted to talk about something that been my situation for a little minute now, and it's been bothering me. As you guys know, the past few videos that I've uploaded have been song covers and songs from the heart, and all those different kinds of things that pull out all different kinds of emotions for me and for probably many other people. I wanted to showcase that because I want this channel to be as real as it possibly can be, and for me to be hiding my hurt or pretending like I'm okay in every instance and like I'm this perfect person that comes on here and gives, prim and proper advice and, on how to live and how to act and, and someone who often likes to practice what they preach. I find that it is very important to be transparent, to be real and authentic and, relatable, very much relatable. And so, with that being said, I don't exactly know like where to go from here. I really don't, because I didn't really I have addressed what I'm going through in previous videos, but I haven't really said what the issue is. And it's because it's so personal to me that I don't really, want that much of it out there. But I do want people to understand that people do go through things like this on a regular day-to-day basis, and everybody has a story, and people's story is why they are the way that they are. And I really feel like that needs to be understood, and that needs to be a thing that people really understand and accept in 2020. So oftentimes I get told that I'm far too emotional about things, or that I should get over things a lot sooner than I do. And I honestly feel like that is very inconsiderate and very insensitive of people to tell me. Because if you were going through something, I'm not going to tell you that you've been grieving for far too long and you need to move on. I feel like that's what I get told on a regular basis. Like, you can't sit around and be depressed. You can't mope about it. You just got to get on with your life and, live your life regardless of what's happening around you. And yes, I understand that fully, and I agree with it to a certain extent, but it's like, it's not the person that makes you sad, or it's not the situation that makes you sad and puts you in a state of mind of depression and honestly feeling like your life is over, because that's really where I'm at this point. I really do honestly feel like my life is over. And some people would say, why would you give one person that much power that they can take away, you know, your purpose in your existence? I'm somebody who struggled with finding a purpose in the first place. I'm someone who doesn't really have a purpose and have a reason for living. So it's kind of like, if I found that purpose in someone else, or if I found my identity in someone else, oftentimes, people say it about celebrities. Like, Kim Kardashian is more than Kanye West's wife. She was somebody before him, and I feel like that same principle should apply to people that are not of that stature. Like, you don't need somebody to, define your existence. But for me, that's been the case. It's like I was nothing more than her boyfriend, or I was nothing more than her best friend, and I care about these titles so very much. These titles mean the world to me for some odd reason. Like, I shouldn't care about these titles, and I shouldn't even be bothered by them, but it's just the principle of the matter. It's so like, I can't even like put it into words that it is really understandable. I I hurt all the time now, recently. Every day I think of the memories and when times were good. That's where the sadness comes from. It's not the person or the situation. It's the hope and the dreams of what could have been. And so when people tell me I'm being ridiculous for being so emotional, I kind of look at them and go, shame on you and fuck you. Who are you to tell me that I need to get over it, I need to move on, or I'm taking this to the extreme? You don't know what the last decade of my life with this person has been like. Like, when your heart beats for one person, it's kind of hard for you to just say, the hell with it. I'm just going to move on when you've spent an entire decade thinking that they were the one. You've invested so much time in it. So it's going to take time to get over. The love took time to develop. The like took time to develop. The friendship took time to develop. So when all of those things are no longer a thing and they're not going to exist anymore, they've pushed you out, they've shut you out for no reason of your own understanding, and yet they don't give you a reason because they're not mature enough to come to you and say, this is what it is, this is what the problem is. They just stop talking to you out of the blue one day, and 5 months later, still no response, from me trying to reach out and find out what the issue was, what I did. So let me get the understanding, let me get the closure so I can move on. It's really that simple for me. All I want to know is why and what happened and what I did wrong so I don't make the same mistake twice. I'm somebody who thrives off of closure. I will not open up another door until one is closed completely. And I know why it's closed. And I know that it's closed for a good enough reason. And it'll give me the opportunity to fix it, or whatever the case is. But when I don't get that opportunity or that chance, yeah, I get a little crazy, I get a little controlling, I get a little out there, out of control. And it's because I care so much and I'm so passionate about whatever it is or whomever it is. I would never turn my back on anyone and just walk away just because somebody's decided it, they've had enough. But why though? Before divorce was a thing, it was called talking out your issues. And I really do feel like I'm going through a divorce. Like, this is not, it's like it was the love of my life. Like, I planned to marry her, all this stuff. Like, we were actively planning marriage and houses and cars, and we were actively doing this stuff, and out of nowhere everything ceased. All communication just ceases. So it's kind of like, I don't know what I did. I genuinely do not know. Like, the last time we spoke, everything was fine. So when I have all these people and I explain to all these people like what I'm really going through on the inside, they make it seem like, she's just a hoe, move the fuck on. But it's like, you don't understand. How would you feel if you were in my predicament? All of a sudden, things just stop. Yeah, when you thought things were going great. So your comprehension and your outlook on things isn't valid or isn't being heard. Like, it's like you go to a judge and the judge only listens to the defendant, not the plaintiff. It's like, no, there's two sides to this story. And then that's another thing. When you put people in the business, okay, and there are people coming to me left and right, cussing me out, saying I'm this, I'm that. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, how are you going to tell me about my 10-year relationship with somebody you just met recently? You haven't been in her life for, 5 years yet at the max, but yet you have so much to say about my relationship that is almost about a decade old. You don't know her the way I do. You'll never know her the way I do. So it's kind of like, you can say what you want and you can believe what you want because, that's your friend or whatever, and she's feeding you all these lies. Or she's not, I can't say lies, but she might not be telling you the whole truth. And I keep everything. I keep all the receipts. I keep all the text messages. I keep everything. So trust me, if you gonna sit there and lie about things that have happened, I can debunk them by things that I have kept. I have folders and folders and folders of printed out documentation on every last relationship, friendship, business deal I have ever been a part of. That's how particular I am. That's how serious I am about things. I will take your ass to court over something that you claim you didn't say that I have proof that you said. That's how serious I am. That's how put together in particular I am. So you can't say this didn't happen or you making this up, because I can prove to you that I am not. So when I have bitches that don't even know the business, think they know because they're hearing it from her, there's 3 sides to every story. There's her side, there's my side, and then there's the truth. So you can't say that, or you can't take her word for verbatim, regardless of whether or not she's your friend, you're not my friend, whatever the case may be. She don't know me like that, or y'all don't know me like that, but you guys are making all these preconceived notions and all these judgments. I understand why you would take your friend's side, just like my friends take my side, but at the same time, they're not just taking my side. They're trying to see both, sides of the situation. But when the other side doesn't even have the common decency or the balls to come to me and say, this is what happened, it makes you look like a fool. It makes you look like you run. And then you have people that are going to war for you and defending you, saying how you've grown and you don't need to run from situations and yada yada. But what would you call it if you leave without no explanation and then knowingly see that I'm reaching out to you and ignore it anyways? So it's kind of like you are running because you're not mature enough and you weren't raised correctly. Sorry, but it's the truth. You weren't raised correctly to know the difference between how to effectively deal with the situation and how not to effectively deal with the situation, how to be an adult, how to be a grown-up. You cannot do this for the rest of your life. I am the only person that I know of that would be putting up with your shenanigans, your foolishness. I've been putting up with them from the last decade, and I've been doing so gleefully because I love you. I don't do it because I have to or I feel like it's necessary for me to put up with you. Trust me, if I really wanted to cut somebody off because they were a burden to me, I would have did that. But I see the good in everybody, and I see that, who's special and who's not. And I honestly believe there is something special about this individual. There has always been something special about her. From the minute I saw her walk down the hallways at Coral Glades High School in Coral Springs off of Sportsplex Drive in South Florida. For those of you who live in Florida and probably went to Coral Glades High School. Ever since I saw her walk past me, I had, it was a vision. She will be mine one day. I don't know how I'm going to make it possible, but I will stop at nothing until it happens. So I'm so close to meeting, to making my goal, and this happens. So imagine how devastated I would be at this point. So for people to tell me that my feelings aren't justified, how wrong are you? Like, I wouldn't sit there and tell you that, if your dog died, that you don't have a right to be upset when you've had the dog your whole life. Because who the hell am I to tell you that? I don't know what relationship you've had with that dog. I don't know what that dog's meant to you over the years. Just like y'all don't know what she's meant to me over the years. But everybody's got so much to say about a situation that they know nothing about. So the whole point is you guys need to be more sensitive and show a little bit more empathy and sympathy towards matters like this, because it's not always black and white. And that's the response I'm getting. It's black and white. Like, it's so easy just to say the hell with this and move on. It is not. If it was that easy, we wouldn't be here. Because I would have been moved on if it was that simple. I wake up every day and I don't know what my day is going to be like. I don't know if I'll be able to hold back tears. I don't know if I'll be able to get up and do what I got to do, or, go to my college classes and sit through all my meetings during the day. I don't know what my mood is going to be like. Sometimes I'm fine, and then the next thing I know, I'm just breaking down in tears and I'm literally on the ground rolling, just crying my eyes out. Like, I don't know what my mood is going to be like. Today, luckily, I'm fine, but I'm fine right now. That doesn't mean in 20 minutes I'm going to be okay, because the memories just play over and over in my head, and the plans we've made, and yada yada, like how hard I've worked and how hard I tried for this. Like, I've tried so hard, like harder than I've tried, to get or do anything else in my entire existence. Nothing else was as important to me as this. This was my whole life. My whole life, my whole focus was this. I put all my eggs in one basket, and that's where I've gone wrong. I did that with my best friend too. I put all my eggs in one basket thinking I don't need nobody but her. And she'll never hurt me. She'll never do me wrong. But that went out the window real fast. And oftentimes you get hurt the most, or it hurts the most, getting this kind of response from the people you love most. It absolutely hurts the most. And people are so sick of me, they can't even stand to hang around me, because of the simple fact that I just can't let this go. And I won't let it go. I've been known to chase and chase and chase and chase and chase until I get the answer I'm looking for. And I know it might sound extreme and it might sound crazy, but my whole purpose, I cannot move on without knowing why I'm moving on. I don't know if it's just me, but I really cannot. If I feel like the relationship is worth fighting for, I'm going to fight for it to the bitter end, until I just can't take it no more. And I don't get burned out until after 6 or 7 years. So I'll be on this for a very long time. I'll be on this subject for an extremely long time. I can honestly say that, because I know my history. So it's so much easier just to come to me and tell me what it was. And perhaps we could have fixed it. And if we didn't fix it, well, she was always the one, oh, we'll still be best friends, yada, yada. Apparently not, if this is the way you respond, if this is the way you act. Apparently my friendship didn't mean that much. And I was more of a parent to her than a friend anyways. I always tried to look out for her best interest and try to steer her in the right direction. And maybe that's where I went wrong at. I should have been more of a friend and more of a lover to her, rather than somebody that put parameters on her. But I only put parameters on her because I want to keep her safe, and there's other ways to show that you care and love someone, rather than sex and those those other obvious things. And so that's just the way I choose to do it. I'd rather show you that I care about you and I love you, and I'm a big person on materialized things, so I'll buy you a whole bunch of gifts. That's just the way I choose to do it, because I'm not a very verbal person. Me coming on here and saying all of this is just not something I ever imagined to even be doing. I'm not a verbal person. I would rather not tell you. I would rather, if you don't know, then you just don't know. Because I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and break it down to you. I'm just not. Because I feel like it should be obvious. My actions should speak for themselves. I shouldn't have to tell you I love you. You should see it. I shouldn't have to tell you, you look beautiful. You can tell you look beautiful. I can't keep my hands off you, right? So it's just, I'm that kind of person. My point is, like, we need to watch the way that we address situations and watch the things that we say, because you might think you know, when in all actuality, you know nothing. And it makes you look dumb because you're hopping in a situation you have no background knowledge of at all. You didn't know me way back when things were good. You didn't know us when way back when things were good. And as far as I know, things have always been good. We've fallen out 2 times. 2 times in 10 years. 2 times. That's a damn good record if you ask me. And both of the times were just mediocre misunderstandings. From my recollection of it, from what I remember. She might not agree with anything I'm saying. And I know that she's going to watch this video because I know she's subscribed to me. So it's kind of like, you say you don't care, you say you don't, but you do, though. You do. You do. You make it seem like I'm the only one that's watching you. You're watching me too. And you think I don't know, but I do. Just because you don't speak about me to your friends and you never bring me up, that doesn't mean you don't think about this situation. It's going to be so much easier just to come forth with whatever it is and stop playing these games, these childish games. I can't even. It's so childish. And it's so tacky. And it's so unladylike. And it's just so not where it's at. It's not where it's at. It's really not. I mean, like, I'm not going anywhere. The ring will always be here, because I can't return it, and I would never give it to another woman. I'd never. So it's like, it's up to you. It's up to you. All y'all just be kind, be understanding, be accepting, show more empathy and sympathy towards one another. And that's all I've got to say for today. So stay perfectly imperfect until I see you guys next time. Bye, guys.